This is your Weather Extreme video for Saturday, June the 12th. I'm meteorologist Brian Peters, and it looks like we're just plain stuck in a summer-like pattern that's going to stick with us for much of the upcoming week. Well, let's get right to the Skycam images, and here's one of my favorite shots from the Skycam at Mount Cheaha, looking down the spine of the Appalachians, and certainly a beautiful morning. Looks like, just a few clouds in the sky. Sun rising over the battleship Alabama, and we can see once again it looks like a few high clouds down along the Gulf Coast. And then just a real quick shot at Huntsville, and again more clouds as we look out over the interstate there that comes into Huntsville, and just a few clouds in the sky. Looks like mostly high clouds primarily. On the overall weather pattern, surface weather pattern, the big issue and what continues with us for much of this upcoming week is high pressure, and that's covering much of the eastern third of the country and definitely firmly planted over the southeastern U.S. In the meantime, there's a battle zone between the high pressure over the southeast and the main westerlies up there, creating a band of severe weather for much of the central plains for the foreseeable future. On the upper air chart, you can see the strong ridge over the southeastern U.S., and that is just holding tough. In the meantime, a very deep trough over the western United States, and again, that battle zone between the two is where much of the action is going on. Under the high, temperature is very warm, as we see for the early morning hours here. This is taken around 5 a.m., and you can see the heat extending all the way up into Chicago area where the low 70s, and that's definitely warm for them up there. Looking a little bit closer to home and around the central Alabama area, we are a bit warmer this morning as temperatures only falling back to about 76 at Tuscaloosa, 78 at Birmingham, 72 at Alex City, so just a few samples around there. Very few showers to talk about, most of them up in Kentucky and extreme northern Tennessee. The watch warning map includes a number of flash flood advisories and flash flood watches along the Ohio River Valley. And, of course, just our hearts and our prayers go out for the people in Arkansas that were taken by surprise on that flash flood event to the west and northwest of Little Rock. QPF-wise, again, I mentioned that kind of battle zone, and that's where the focus for much of the rain is, where over the next 5 days it looks like on the order of about 3 to 5 inches will be possible along that area. So as long as the weather pattern stays stuck, that's where the rain's going to be occurring. Meantime, over the southeastern U.S., of course, we'll see a few isolated showers, but I think for the most part, most of us are going to stay dry. Storm Prediction Center outlooking a large band for a slight risk of severe weather from extreme southwest Pennsylvania across places like Ohio and Illinois and Indiana and parts of Missouri and Kansas, Nebraska, southern Iowa, and down into the Texas Panhandle, and actually all the way down into the Big Bend country. The day 2 outlook for Sunday doesn't change a great deal. Shrinks back just a little bit, extending from looks like about St. Louis back through Amarillo and down once again into the Big Bend country. And the tropics remain quiet. All right, here's the 060 GFS model run. And we're going to be looking primarily at the upper air pattern since that pretty much tells the story. And there's our strong ridge and the trough over the western part of the United States. Sunday, the ridge is retrograding just a little bit. The center moves over to Louisiana. By Monday, we're not seeing quite as strong a ridge, but the amplitude of the ridge is still there, but we don't have that closed contour. And, of course, underneath that, we're going to be seeing the possibility of isolated showers. The ridge stays with us as the westerlies stay much further north away from us, and that those westerlies continue that way with on Wednesday as the ridge maintains its integrity. The ridge continues to be with us, and that's that's the name of the story here, unfortunately, for about the next week or so at least. And that, again, on Thursday, once again, the possibility we'll be seeing some isolated showers, and it's going to be hard to tell from one day to the next, especially this far in advance. By Friday, this ridge still with us, deflecting everything to the north of us. The ridge beginning to grow stronger, especially to our west on Saturday, And once again, that still at the surface shows us with isolated to perhaps maybe a scattered shower, but I think for the most part it'll be isolated with most of us staying dry and a few of us getting a nice dousing of rain. All right, out into voodoo country, and here we go, and it's the same old story, not much change. The ridge stays strong over about the middle of the country over to the east coast, and underneath that, of course, they do have fronts across the northern tier of the United States, but for us, looks like just isolated showers and perhaps some activity in the tropics, but I wouldn't go too far with that just yet. Well, I appreciate you tuning into the Weather Xtreme video. I expect to have the next one posted around 7:30 or 8 tomorrow morning. In the meantime, I hope that you have a great Saturday, and Godspeed.
Each day there are new stories to tell about the people who live here and the place we call home.
All of the faces that I see, all of the places close to me, they're all part of all the best things about home.
Sharing your stories on ABC 3340, Alabama's news leader.